Okay, thank you, James, Sarah, Jack, operating the camera. Thank you. Probably gonna move into my new house today. I'm going to be doing my discovery speech while you guys are still here. My discovery speech will be over the Native American language preservation, which many of you guys know. My mom is full-blooded Native American. She's Ponca, Cherokee, and Oto, and it is an important part of not only my mom, but it's an important part of my culture. It makes me kind of sad seeing going through all this information, seeing languages that shouldn't be dying are dying. So, this is my speech. Um, my life is very important to me, as everyone else's life is important to them. How would you feel if I were to tell you a piece of you, your culture, your history, was slowly disappearing and a common person has no idea? However, with the help of communities all over America, it seems languages are persevering. The native North American languages spoken at home in the United States and Puerto Rico 2006 to 2010 census that was reported in December 2011 shows that the only area in America where Native American speakers thrived in was in Arizona. Everywhere else except for a few select places have native speakers numbered under 500. This means by 2020 that number will be cut in half and Native American speakers will be going extinct 100%. This means that the language your grandmother spoke as a child is on the verge of collapse. Today I'm here to share with everybody how older generations and newer generations have been coming together to protect the languages their ancestors grew up with, to protect the languages that is their history, that is their culture. Language is not only an important part of who you are as a person, it is an important part of your cultural identity. When Europeans first started arriving in what is now known as America, over 300 different distinct languages flourished. Now we are at 175 and dropping, and languages became extinct. When a language becomes extinct, it can take along with it much of the history and the culture of the people who spoke it. The reason why so many languages have disappeared is because the U.S. government started forcing Native Americans at a young age to leave their homes and to go into the boarding schools that was run by the U.S. governments. The U.S. governments did this in a way, to break down the Native Americans, to annihilate them, and not actually annihilating them, but their culture, their language. They were trying to make everybody become the U.S. in their own eyes, not the Native Americans, how they wanted to live. So they had to take young boys and girls to these boarding schools, and they had punished them for even speaking their own language or speaking their native names. They had given them new names, English names like Sarah, John. It wasn't anything how they were accustomed to, but this was the beginning of their language's end. In 1990s, Native culture and language began to gain support, and several more decades before any legislation was passed to accomplish that goal. The Native American Languages Act of 1990 recognizes the language rights of American Indians, Alaska Natives, Native Hawaiians, Pacific Islanders, anybody who was ethnic in their native way, were born where they were. This was their way of trying to protect everything that they had grown up with, their language, their family, everything. The Estar Martinez Native American Language Preservation Act of 2006 helps Native American languages stay alive by providing federal grants to Native American language immersion programs. It shouldn't have taken so long, and the only reason it took so long is when the government was faced with the facts that the cultures were here before Europeans are dying because of something that was issued by the old United States government. There was no other choice but to look at the data and see what was happening. Now it's 2014 and help came a little bit too late. However, with the help of government grants, organizations, people are starting to fight back to protect their ancestors' language. Native Americans are actually doing more now than what they ever had been doing before, because now that they have the money, they have the community backing them up. It's something like you see on TV, the Chickasaw Nation, the Ponca Nation, Creeks, they are all fighting to preserve their language. They're fighting to preserve who they were as a people back in the day. The main problem right now is young people need to help preserve their history, because it's the older people who are dying, and it's not enough young people coming and actually, learning. But there are if you don't have an ancestor around you anymore, there are places now that actually will help you go into and learn the language, to help volunteer, and in return help you develop your Cherokee language that you might never know you had. And the first step of this that is really happening is the Endangered Language Programs, which is known as the ELP. If you become an intern there, it's basically helping your whole community. Through there, you can volunteer to do anything possible to help. There are so many programs and online cultural survival programs that will let you donate anything to help. Maine government and native funded programs such as the Chickasaw Nation, the Ponca Nation, the Creek, everybody who I named off earlier, they are all pushing forward. And they've helped get us to the main conclusion to this, is that people are starting to help, and people do notice that the language is disappearing. And this is really the first step to doing it, to helping everybody. However, with the help of the people and the government, it will only continue to fall apart. I feel that people will only look around at each other and say, "What happened?" As if they see their culture, as they see their culture die out. There are a lot of things being done, like the Esther Martinez grant. However, it is not enough. Everything we are doing right now should double. The younger generation should be involved in sustaining their language, because the Native American language is the soul, the culture, the sustenance to our whole beings as we are as a people. Without our language, we have no history, and the preservation should be greater. Right now, we're doing everything that we can, but it should be more. And that is my speech. That's all the information I had actually found for this. I mean, everybody that's helping right now is Native American people. The government does help with funds and everything, but it's, like I said, it's not enough considering all the languages that are around all over North America. Thank you.